name is Josiah Jones. When I was 8 years old, COVID-19 hit, and it was really hard for me. A lot of my good friends decided to leave China and go back to their home countries, or they got locked down in a different country. For me, as an 8-year-old, it was really difficult. It was really hard for me to embrace the changes that my friends were leaving and I was lonely. And then on top of that, my family ended up getting stuck in Thailand over a vacation. We were stuck there for over 8 months, and it was really difficult for me. You might think that this isn't a very long time, and that there are other people who have been through bigger changes and harder problems, but however, this was very hard for me to face. And I did realize afterwards, though, that I actually had grown a lot and had figured out something really important. For one, I learned that changes can help you grow, especially if they are something different from what you are used to or what your original situation was. I also learned that changes are necessary for your growth and for your experiences. Today, I'm here to talk about how changes can be necessary in everyone's life and how they can be fundamental for your personal growth. In my life, I have had friends move away, I have changed to a new school, I have lived in another country, and these changes made me into a whole new person, whether I liked it or not. And at first, I did not enjoy it. But I later came to realize that these changes weren't roadblocks. They were just turns that redirected my path onto the bigger road. Have you ever experienced a big change in your life? Whether it was moving to a different country, changing schools, having friends move away. Did these changes make you feel angry or sad or like you did not like them at all? Changes can feel scary and bad, but they do help us grow as people and realize how meaningful things are in our lives. So many people are afraid of change, and they've tried everything to prevent it from happening. But if you think about it, who would want to live a life without change? Imagine, you wake up every day and do the same task repeatedly over and over until you die. You would never grow or be able to learn or adapt. I know that changes can cause sadness and grief, but they are important for our growth and for our learning and adapting. In addition to change helping us grow, it can also help us realize how meaningful things are and how much they truly mean to us in our lives. I think that it is very interesting how small changes can help us realize specific things in our lives. If there were no changes, then life would feel boring, and you wouldn't be able to tell what was special and different about every day. It would all feel like the same, repeating over and over again. Sometimes you don't even recognize the things that you had before until you go through the changes. Going back to my example from when I was a kid, even though I had to make new friends that I eventually lost again, I had to get used to totally new environments, and I was still grieving about my old situation and how I missed it. I still grew as a person from this, and later realized that the importance of the situations was really big in my life. I realized that I became better at making friends and talking to people from having to socialize with new people. I also became better at adapting to new environments and places and different situations from having a drastic change in the place I live. I also became better at handling my emotions and the way I reacted to things. These changes also helped me realize that I had some of these qualities before these changes. And it also helped me realize how privileged I was before these changes and during these changes. Before these changes, I had very good friends, a very good environment, very good community, and even during these changes, our family had a really good house to stay in. There was really good food, and we also had friends that were in a similar situation as us that we could connect with. In conclusion, I know that changes can be extremely hard to get through and can be sad, but it is important for us to know that all changes in your life are necessary and that you will get through them and be better. If you are currently going through a big change or have gone through a big change in the past, it is good to realize how these changes have helped you and how necessary they have been for your personal journey. I know that changes can feel scary and frustrating, but we have to take a step back and realize that these changes are necessary in our lives and they're not such a bad thing. They help us grow as people. Thank you.